There he is again. Beard from Ossalts and a P from Beeman. So, let's take another look. From the outside, I would say it definitely looks suspiciously like a Desert Eagle clone. Gloves aren't always helpful, not even the big orange ones. So a bit of paperwork and a hand to pick it up. That's how it should be. That's how you handle weapons. So let's start with that first. That's what this is for. Oh, it's heavy. I'm not taking it out of the box for the first time now. I just pretend, but it's still the same as before. Wow, this really smells. I think the top is metal, judging by the weight. My dear, my dear. I really, truly, genuinely, and honestly think that the upper half is indeed actually, absolutely, and undoubtedly made of metal. You can't really say for sure these days, but I almost think, from the weight distribution, I would say there's a lot of metal built into it. Wow, look at that. So, be careful to make sure that the tab goes back in. It looks silly if a white piece is hanging out back there. 2001. Beeman B. Then I'll read it out loud. The very first thing that we like, it also says Beeman P, Caliber 4.6 Diablo F Mark, ESG. That answers the question of who imports it. Beeman is just a brand name. Beeman is a brand that comes from America. For example, Diana rifles, when you sold Diana rifles in America back in the day, nobody knew Diana, so they put Beeman on it, and vice versa. And now we have a Beeman P that came into the country through GSG, and on the side, it also says, warning, this is not a toy. And here we have a Beeman P that came into the country through GSG, and on the side, it also says, warning, this is not a toy. It's all crazy. Alarm? American Product Liability Law? Yeah. Well, there's really not much to say right now. I usually start with a little function test, like a demonstration. So, yes, this is actually an air pistol. It goes piff-paff. To be honest, my other glasses fit the safety glasses better. So, this is how it opens. And, wait a second. Now that it's open, I can also hold it up to the camera to show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like. A lot of metal, nice cylinder. Yes. Yeah, that's what it looks like, stuffing. The Diabolos in from the back. I'm still not quite sure if this is heavier than the AF, or if it's just average weight. It's just the way it's designed that you can only get around the corner from up here at the back, and the gloves don't help with that, I'm telling you. So, we do have a catch here, which I'll get to in a moment, regarding the gloves. We also don't have a tube on top that says, hey, you can fit 10 round balls in here. Instead, this thing is really just for single use. Yeah, I always think it's good when people oil it. Oil is good, and then you just have to wipe it down every now and then. That's normal. Yeah, so you have to stuff it in from the top. There's a transfer port here, right? When it goes around the corner somewhere or goes through somewhere, it's always called a transfer port. So now we press it all back together. And now, automatic safety. I hate automatic safety. Have I mentioned that before? I think I've subtly hinted here and there that I hate automatic safety. I do admit, however, that an automatic safety still makes more sense on air pistols than on air rifles because there are usually beginners who are messing around with something like that. And the pistol you can show off and cause trouble way better than with an air rifle. Maybe it makes sense. It's not for me. So, bang. Barely any recoil to feel, but it's visible. So when you aim over the sights, resting it, the thing actually jumps up a little bit. Just a little bit, but still. I don't even need them here anymore. So, grip match is normal. It's just for the service pistol, and that's totally fine. Now, of course, I'm putting on gloves, but I shot earlier without gloves. So now there are the small disadvantages. I need to open this here. With the AF, I have this slider here. I just do this, and it pops open. Here I have to let go, so I need to release the grip. I can't just do this, load 2001, load, bang. But now I have to release the grip, open this here, and then flip it open. So, then I have to close it again. You see, there's already a bit of pressure on it. So I just paid extra attention to it. These grooves up here, you do this 10 times and wish you had gloves? I don't know who came up with this, or why it was done this way. Automatic safety. I don't know why it was done this way. It really hurts in the hands. So the first thing I think someone does when they shoot this thing is tape this part up. Because, no, right. Then we have up here, I don't know, a ventilated rail. It could be that it just happens to be 11mm and that's why some optics fit on it. Hold on. That can be figured out. But I always do it wrong on the first try. So, am I really in there? So, 12.7, almost 13mm is perhaps a bit much, but hypothetically, if you are creative, you can get something on top. Can you see through it? No? So it's not a freestanding rail just hanging in the air. However, I just noticed that with the red dot sight on top, as always, you still have to press the thing together. I think we'll forget about the red dot sight pretty quickly. 2001. The rear sight is adjustable sideways, and in height. I think that's good. Of course, only with the screwdriver and not with your fingers, but whatever. It looks pretty good so far, even if it all seems to be made of solid plastic. And there's also a light insert in there. The GR also lights up, but it's not really rectangular. It's more like, it's round on top. That's a hemisphere. I have to say, it worked if you don't usually try to align the top edge of the GR and the top edge of the rear sight, but instead, just bring the light things to the same height. That works too. The remaining little levers here, that's all just for show. The safety on the side, as I said, works. The magazine button is just for show. The whole thing is quite a handful, so far I like it. Obviously there isn't a movable slide. A dual-sided slide release, theoretically for casing ejection. Well, so far so good. Let's take a look further. Yeah, I know, that's too high, but you can turn a sight around for that. But now take a look at this. But that's really good. Is it because of the barrel? Maybe it's because of the sights. It's very likely due to the shooter. I'm only responsible for taking it apart, not for putting it back together. That's awesome. That's really awesome. That's not just any way. Yeah, it's okay. That's awesome. I've shot air rifles that can't shoot like that at 10 meters. I really like it a lot. I'm saying I'm more about rings and less about matchboxes. Note 1 through Z, also called a note P. There it is. The new price is around $90. As always, sometimes 10 more, sometimes 10 less, but you really have to reckon with around $90. I paid $55 for a gold coin, of course used at Airgun. A lot of luck. I've learned from the air rifles that you can't just take everything that looks great. Otherwise, you end up leaving some behind and prefer to buy later when no one else is bidding, like at odd hours and stuff. And as I said, you end up with more reasonable prices than before. I found a PTB approval, which is from 2020, so it's relatively new on the market, meaning it can't be older than 4 years. I don't think it's even 4 years old because it looks like it's straight out of the store. There's nothing at all. Even the packaging is practically new. All good. And now let's come over here, and this is definitely going to give us some interesting numbers. It feels quite interesting when you cock it and also when you shoot. Beam us up. We're beaming. Right along right now. View shots. Joule 3.6, Joule 3.8, Joule 3.7, Joule 3.8, Joule 3.8, Joule 3.8, Joule. Like a jump in the plate. 3.8 Joule, 3.8 Joule, 3.7 Joule, 3.7 Joule. That's good. That's really good. That's not just 1,000. That's quite a lot for an air pistol, so just under 4 joules. Not many air pistols do that. And then also very, 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 very consistent. I really like that a lot. This here is annoying, but bearable. You have to fiddle around like this. I think it's the same with the good old HW. I shouldn't have had it in my hands anyway. That might change soon, but I think you have to fiddle around a bit to get it closed here. So either you get some gloves, or you just stick a strip of tape over it, like Hansaplast or something, that also looks good with the whole thing. Automatic safety, of course, a pain. Either you get used to it or you take the thing out. It's not like it's unchangeable or anything. Either you get used to it or you take the thing out. It's not like it's unchangeable or anything. Although if you should buy something like this new, I would advise against taking it apart first, because I see quite a few pins and quite a few springs here. Maybe you should just bite the bullet and do it by hand, right? Yeah. It doesn't just get a thumbs up from me, it gets 2 thumbs up. I really like the thing. It's heavy, it's big, it really satisfies that typical male urge. Shoots hard for an air pistol. Shoots accurately. Ammunition costs are almost 0. So no capsules, no ammunition maintenance, nothing at all. 1,000. You can't mount any optics on it. Although optics usually just means a red dot sight. So be it. This kind of pump pistol, you can't really build anything on it. Done. Yeah. As I said, I really think it's good. The good part would be like this. So I'll probably sell all my air pistols anyway because I'm just not an air pistol shooter. But if I were to keep any, this one would definitely be a candidate. 2001 is really good, that piece. Discriminate. Our friends from southern Germany would say, yeah, man, just deal with it. This is nice. A rag here. You first have to pull the nipple through the loop and so on. Hamastri. This is what it looks like from the back. So, macho. Macho has to be, what's it called? Macho. Macho can't be learned. Macho has to be a shot. Who would know that better than me? What can you say about that? I can do everything and I have to do nothing. What does that mean? But that means you can't. I can do everything. But you can't. Yes. What else do you have? But you have to. I don't have to do anything. So, macho. Drumming on it is important. 1,000. So the video isn't a video if I'm not drumming on it. I'll give it 2 thumbs up again. So I really like this thing a lot. The price is right. Quality, the look, everything about this thing is actually great. And maximum speed is 4 and 10 feet per second. Yeah, it could be or it might not be. I have to convert it to meters per second anyway. 2001, right? I still have to complain that I always have to turn off the camera myself. I don't have to get up like I used to. Why reach behind? So I can do this here on the touchscreen. What's annoying is that the touchscreen is 16.9, and the main computer behind it is 21.9. That's why every time I use this, I have to switch from 21.9 to extended. Then it shows 21.9, and this one shows a corresponding section from somewhere else. I have to switch to 16.9, but it's also 60.9 because you can only double it if both are, and I always have to switch that. That's annoying. Now I need to see if I can find a 21.9 touchscreen in that size somewhere. That could get tricky. Well, I always have to turn off the poor little thing. Camera. Deep depressions.